You stand up. Your knee cracks like a snapped branch. You freeze for a second because part of you wonders if this is the time something actually tears. It happens every morning now. Getting out of bed, off the couch, out of the car. That sharp pop, then a few seconds before your leg agrees to work. Last Tuesday at the park, your granddaughter asked you to chase her. You said maybe later. You both knew what later meant. 5 years ago, you were the one chasing her brother around those same swings. Something changed. And it wasn't just time. You've been told it's aging. Wear and tear. Just what happens after 60. And you believed it because the doctor kept refilling pills that barely take the edge off. But here's what isn't on the standard blood work panel. A specific mineral your body stops absorbing properly after 60. When it runs low, the cartilage in your joints loses the fluid that cushions bone from grinding on bone. That grinding is the crack you hear. It's not your knees wearing out. It's your knees running dry. In the next few minutes, I'll show you which mineral it is and the exact way to get it back into your joints starting tonight. The mineral is magnesium. And I do not mean the white pills at the drugstore. Those almost never reach the joint. I am talking about magnesium the way nature actually delivers it. Made by living things, carried in a living drink. I will come back to that. But first, you need to understand what is happening inside your knee, because once you see it, you will never forget it. Picture an old well. When the water table is high, the bucket comes up full and the rope moves easy. When the water table drops, the bucket scrapes the stones on the way down. The rope catches. You hear it groan. Your joints are that well. The cushion between your bones is not solid. It is wet. It is a sponge filled with fluid, and that fluid is what lets one bone glide over the other in silence. Magnesium is the mineral that pulls water into that sponge and holds it there. And here is what nobody told you. The moment that sponge starts to dry, your body has a window of about 90 days before the cushion starts changing shape. After that window, the damage stops being a shortage. It starts being a scar. After 60, two things happen at once. Your stomach makes less of the acid that breaks magnesium out of food. And your kidneys, tired from a lifetime of work, start letting more magnesium pass out in the urine. Less in, more out. The well runs dry. So the sponge in your knee starts to shrink. The cushion gets thin. And every time you stand, the bones come closer to touching than they were meant to. That sound you hear is not damage yet. It is warning. It is the rope scraping the stones. Now here is the part that should make you angry. Your doctor will not test for this. He cannot. The blood test he runs only shows the magnesium swimming in your bloodstream, and your body protects that number above everything else it owns. It will rub your bones. It will rub your joints. It will strip the cushion in your knee bare just to keep that one number on the lab sheet looking normal. You can be deeply empty inside your joints and still walk out of that office with a perfect result on paper. This is why the test misses it. This is why no one has told you. The pills they give you, the ones for pain and the ones for inflammation, they quiet the noise the joint is making. They do nothing to refill the well. Year after year you take them, and year after year the cushion gets thinner underneath. I will tell you something now that I rarely say out loud. In my 50 years of practice, I have watched this same pattern in hundreds of bodies. Every year it goes unattended, the cushion grows harder to bring back. The body at 65 answers faster than the body at 75. This is the kind of thing that does not announce itself until it has been quietly emptying for 10 years. I want to tell you about someone who walked into my practice with the same sound in his knees that you hear in yours. His name was Walter, 68 years old. From a town outside Cleveland, Ohio, he had been a postal carrier for 31 years. Walked his route every day, rain and snow, until his knees would not let him anymore. By the time he came to me, he could not stand up from a chair without holding the armrest, and he had not been down on the floor with his grandson in 2 years. He had tried everything. The pills the doctor gave him, the cream from the television commercial, the expensive injections that worked for 3 weeks and then stopped. He had been told the next step was surgery. He did not want surgery. His sister had her knee replaced and never walked the same again. When he sat across from me, the first thing I asked him was what he ate. The second thing I asked him was how often he got up in the night. He looked surprised. He said 3 or 4 times a night, every night for years. That told me what I needed to know. His body was losing magnesium through his kidneys faster than he could put it back, and his gut had gone quiet years ago without him noticing. I gave him one simple thing, the same thing my grandfather gave the old people in our village. 3 weeks later, his daughter walked into my office with a folded note in her hand. She would not tell me what was in it. She just watched my face while I read. I read it twice. Then I read it a third time because what Walter wrote at the bottom of that paper is something I had not seen a man write in 20 years of practice. At the bottom, in shaky handwriting, he had written 4 words. "I'm coming back, Doc." And he did. 6 months later, he sent me a photograph. He was on the floor of his living room, on his hands and knees, playing with his grandson and a small wooden train. Now, I want to walk you through what I told Walter because I know you are sitting there thinking, all right, just tell me what to take. I have to tell you first what not to do because most of you have already tried it and I do not want you to think the answer failed when really you never reached it. You probably tried the cheap magnesium pills from the drugstore, the big white ones. That is magnesium oxide. Your body absorbs almost none of it. It passes through. It is the cheapest form to make, so it is what fills the bottles on the shelf. You did not feel anything because almost nothing got in. You probably tried glucosamine. You probably tried the cream you rub on at night. These things work on the surface. They quiet the signal for an hour or two. They never reach the cushion. And the reason none of it reached the cushion is something no one ever told you. The magnesium you swallow has to pass through a gut that knows how to receive it. After 60, in almost every body I've ever examined, the gut has gone quiet. The living bacteria that line the wall have thinned out. The acids they used to make have faded. Without them, a mineral cannot cross from the food into the blood. It just floats through and leaves. So here is the chain, and I want you to hold these 3 steps in your mind. The crack in your knee is the surface. Underneath the crack is inflammation, a slow fire that has been drying the cushion from the inside. And underneath the inflammation is the gut, which has been feeding that fire every day for years without you knowing. Here is the loop no one drew you a map for. Your gut goes quiet. A slow fire of inflammation starts spreading through your body. That fire burns through magnesium like dry kindling because magnesium is the one mineral that puts inflammation to sleep. So your body, desperate, raids its own joints to feed the fire. It rips magnesium out of the cushion in your knee to fight a war you cannot see. The cushion dries, the bones touch. You hear the crack. This is why nothing you tried ever held. You were treating the place where the alarm was ringing, not the room where the fire was burning. The answer is to give the gut what it has been asking for. And in my tradition, in my grandfather's tradition, and his grandfather's before him, the answer has always been the same drink. Kombucha. I want to tell you what is actually in that cup because this is the part most people in the West do not understand. Kombucha is tea that has been allowed to come alive. Living bacteria settle in it and begin to work, the way bacteria work in good yogurt or good sourdough. But here is what matters to you, in your kitchen tonight. Those bacteria are doing the exact work your own stomach stopped doing somewhere around your 55th birthday. They are the digestion you lost. Every sip is a borrowed gut, young and strong, breaking food down the way yours used to before the years wore it thin. While they work, something quiet happens. They start preparing your food the way your own body used to prepare it 40 years ago, back when your gut was young and strong. They do for you, in the cup, what your stomach has slowly forgotten how to do for itself. Watch what they hand you. They wrap the magnesium in tiny natural carriers, the same kind your body used to make on its own back when it was young. These carriers walk the mineral across your gut wall. No carrier, no crossing. That is why the pills fail. They show up at the gate with no key. The kombucha hands you the key in every sip. Then the living bacteria themselves go down into your gut and rebuild the lining that has been thinning for 20 years. This is the part the pill cannot do. A pill is dead. Kombucha is alive. And the gentle acids the culture makes settle the inflammation that has been drying your joints. They tell the slow fire to stand down. When the fire settles, the body stops pulling magnesium out of the cushion to fight it. The magnesium stays where it belongs, in the joint, holding water. This is why one drink does what 3 pills cannot. The magnesium, the living bacteria, and the calming acids all arrive in the same sip, made by the same living culture, in the proportion the body knows. When the gut is fed properly, the inflammation settles. When the inflammation settles, the cushion fills again. When the cushion fills, the crack stops. This is the order. This is the road back. This is what I give the people who come to me with this. I make my own kombucha at home because I have the time and the knowledge. But for everyone watching online who can't brew their own, I give BoochBod Kombucha Gummies. The link is in the description, or you can search BoochBod Kombucha Gummies on Amazon. Start tonight, not tomorrow. The window I told you about does not wait. I will tell you what the people who do this tell me afterward. They say the first thing they notice is they are sleeping deeper. They wake up once instead of 4 times. Then around the 2nd week, they stand up from the couch one evening and realize the crack did not happen. They say it is the silence that surprises them. One woman told me she stood up in her kitchen and looked around because she thought someone else was in the room. It was just her own body, quiet for the first time in years. I want to leave you with Walter. The last time I heard from him, he was on the floor of his living room with his grandson and the little wooden train. He was 68 when he walked into my office holding the doorframe. He is on the floor now. The same road is open to you. Hear me when I say this. The 90-day window I told you about earlier is not a deadline. It is a doorway. Every day you wait, it narrows by a hair. Every day you act, it holds open. The body at 70, at 75, at 80 still knows how to walk through it. It has been waiting all this time to be given what it has been asking for. The cushion can come back. The silence can come back. The morning can become quiet again. If this reached you, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone you love whose knees are speaking too loud. Leave me a comment and tell me how old you are and how long the cracking has been with you. I read every single comment on this channel. Until next time.